Kia ora, it's Ruth here and welcome to my backyard in Christchurch. This is part 2 of just showing you what's going in my garden during this February and what I'm going to be picking very soon. Last weekend we had Waitangi weekend, which meant we didn't do much picking during the week because we knew we were going to be away. So I'm really looking forward to picking a whole lot today and this weekend to get some things done with it and being able to have some really lovely fresh veggies. So behind me, my sweet peas are going pretty well. They're definitely on their way out, but I've got a lot of seed pods I can collect for next year. Down here in front of me, we've got a lovely mixed garden. We've got some beetroot, which are nice and big. They are ready to come out. We've got one of our kales. We've got some sneaky carrots still in here that I didn't pick when I was doing my big carrot picking. A lot of calendula. Some kohlrabi. This one's split with having a bit of not enough water and then too much. We've got, well, this is actually a sneaky pumpkin plant that I really need to pull out. Pumpkins haven't gone well this year. The places that I planted them, they didn't do well. These self-sown ones are doing really well, but they're not at the stage where they're going to set fruit before they need to because it just won't get big enough before winter. So rather than leaving them in here, soon I'm going to take them out. At the front here I have more bush beans, which are just kind of hiding / competing with everything else. But as I said before, there are still big beans because it's hard to sometimes try and find them. And I love the colours of their flowers. They're just so beautiful. Over this side we've got the butterbush beans, which are a lot easier to find. I'm thinking for next year, since I already have scarlet runners, which are green beans, my bush beans, I might just stick to butter beans because they're so much easier to find when you're trying to pick them. My scarlet runners over here are doing really well. Every now and then I'm getting some good size ones, like nice edible ones, and then, oh that's a nice one, I'll kind of find one that I'm like, oh, how did I lose that? Oh, here you go, here's a good bunch. That have just got a little bit too long, but I'm such a fan of the scarlet runners, it doesn't really bother me too much. And I've really enjoyed having my trellis either side this year. If we go through here, on this side of the garden, we've got some carrots growing. Actually on the other side as well, there's some beetroot, I'll show you soon. This tomato we've picked a few things off it, we've got some more flowers coming. We've got our yellow zucchini, another yellow one, and I'll just take you around the side again where our beetroots are, and Mr. Peter Rabbit. There's our girls being nice and nosy. Now, if I haven't said this once, I've said it a million times, we have a real problem with birds in our garden. Something that I get so jealous, especially when I go like a couple of houses over and see that other neighbours don't have any problems with birds. We need to keep all of our lettuces, tatsoi, any of our soft leaf things covered, because otherwise this is what happens. The birds get in and just completely decimate it. So you can see I've had this cover on, but I had it too low down here, and so the birds are able to get to it. And even the tops of the lettuce that has been under the cover, but I haven't had the cover high enough, just get eaten, which is really annoying. But here we've just transplanted some of the lettuces and more spinach that we've grown from seed. While we're here, we'll just go say hi to the girls. Some of them might be laying at the moment. How many do we have here? 4. So we must have one that is laying, but they're all pretty happy at the moment, which is good. Just filled up their water again, which they'll be loving. Take you back down here. Here's my little flower garden for the side, which I've really enjoyed this year. I'm learning how to be a little bit less controlled in the garden. I really like the idea of having garden boxes and having everything set in their place, but I also really enjoy just having a bit of flowers everywhere, mix and mingle. So it's been really cool just exploring that and doing things a bit differently. So over here is my outdoor tomatoes. We are getting more and more, which is lovely, and it's just enough at the moment, the outside ones, to keep us going without being too many. Our rhubarb is going great. Caleb just recently made rhubarb, banana and walnut loaf. It is so good and it's perfect because it freezes well, so we always make 3 at a time when we do something like that. So we've got 1 for us, 2 for later. So good just being able to pull it out when you need something sweet. Here is one of our apricot trees, the other one being there. We didn't get apricots from either of them this year because of our late frost. And then under it I've got some more brassicas who've got some normal sized broccoli. Our big giant kale is still giant kaling. Over here you can see that I like beans. We've got more of our yellow bush beans that need to be picked. Some more beetroot too, and I've just been planting out some purple, I think this is normal sprouting broccoli, so that we're ready again for the winter. And lastly, just this outside garden bit, is we have got our sunflowers, which I've been loving. The sunflowers are in the coop. Here's a little one, which is going well. Here's one of the really big heads. which is doing really well as well. I need to pull this off. The outdoor birds have been enjoying it, but what I'm going to be doing is keeping some seeds. So I've got some seeds for next year, and then giving the rest to the chickens because they love having seeds. I've got a head in there at the moment, and they were having a great party on it earlier today. They're probably having a bit of a break now. I won't get the eggs because there's still only 4 chickens out and I don't want to disturb them. But what I'll do is, I think this video will just be a bit longer because I'll take you into the glass house. So the glass house, the tomatoes are going amazingly. Again, whole heap to pick, which is really good, and my string is just doing fantastically. It is holding up the tomatoes really well. I'm loving having it. So again, I need to soak some morticorca so I can make some more string. Seeds, I've got actually here a whole lot of seeds that I'm about to plant. I've got some pansy seeds that I collected from my pansies, cornflowers, more pansies, spinach, tatsoi, cauliflower, kale I keep from other years, people sprouting broccoli, Nero kale, what's that one? Lettuce, more kohlrabi, radish, I'm gonna plant it at some point, carrots, beetroot, and chicken greens, which I still haven't done. So that will be my plan over today and maybe tomorrow, is just get those seeds in the ground. I'm really good at having plans, but seeds need to be in the ground to have anything happen with them. And I've still got a few more seedlings to plant out. I've got my Nero, and then number 1, because I hadn't labelled it. But looking at it, I figured out number 2 was the sprouting broccoli and number 1 looks like the curly kale. So now I'll be able to label those packets correctly rather than 1 and 2. Don't know what I was thinking. And then down below here, our cucumber has got some more flowers on it, which is really good, and some babies, which is really good because I thought it had died because it had fallen over. Our chili plant is laden. Here's one that we must have dropped when we were picking the other day, but they're going really well. Here is our little eggplant, and I know there's one over here that's easy to see. This one's probably nearly ready to pick as well. I've never grown eggplants before, and it's really exciting seeing them come up. And then down here, our capsicum. Oh, there's one I missed. Yuck. Okay, I was gonna say it's really ready, nearly ready, but it's actually a slime bag. Hopefully we'll get some more. Probably should have planted it in a place that was easier to see. And I will finish there. So that's what I've got going on in my garden. There was part 1, part 2. It's definitely the time of year where everything's getting really like ramping up with the picking, but soon it's going to be just completely change of season when we get kind of March, April as it goes into winter. So trying to make sure I've got everything ready so that everything's in the ground, got a little bit of good root growth before we get our cold. There has been predictions that we might get snow this year. This will be our 7th winter in Christchurch. Haven't had snow in our backyard yet. Kind of looking forward to if we do, because I'm just looking forward to waking up to snow, but at the same time we'll see how it goes. So thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Ka kite!